Thank you very much. Um, Ladies and gentlemen, students, thank you for coming. I'll introduce myself as we continue. But for starters, I don't want you not to see me. So I'll open my camera so that you can see me, so that you can see who you are talking to. Thank you very much for coming. I can think you can see. If you can see me, can I see your thumbs up, please? If you can see my face. Okay, thank you very much. I'll introduce myself, but for the house rules, people are coming thick and fast. I hope that we are going to have a blessed evening. I'll introduce myself shortly, and I hope all the people out that are here is for GGH 1501. To start, I want us to have a ground rules. There are two rules for the class. One, let us all have fun. Number two, let us all learn from each other. We are here to learn. And let us learn from each other. You must ask questions as much as you can. And there's nothing here called a stupid question. If you don't understand anything, please raise your hand and then you ask questions. And so those are the two rules. One, let us have fun. Two, let us ask any question. There's no such a thing as a stupid question. Or the rule number three is that let us respect each other. If you know something, I'll learn something from you. Please also, I'll also learn from you. So as we proceed, there is in the top, let's just do an orientation when it comes to teams. There's charts. For example, on the charts, if you click on the charts, you'll see a form which is meant to um, it is meant for you to fill in for evaluation. So please go to your charts before the end of this lesson. Please evaluate this lesson. You must be as honest as you can so that you can improve where I need to improve, or what is it that you want us to do next, because it's going to be helpful for us to continue with the class moving forward. Secondly, currently I've got 24 people on the platform, so I would like to have all of you up until the end. It's going to be 1 hour 30 minutes. We are starting at 6:30 to 8:30. And number three, at the top, you can raise your hand. If you raise your hand, you click once, then I can see your hand. So what is going to happen is that I'm going to ask people as per who raise his or her hand first. Because what happens when you raise your hand, you appear first, other people will follow. Then the third thing, please, guys, I want people to do reactions. So if you click on reaction, there's a thumbs up, there's a heart, there's a clap, there's a surprise face, and also there's a laugh face. If you want to laugh, it's fine, you can laugh, but don't laugh at somebody else who cannot be in a position to answer a question, or maybe you feel anything that is funny, you are free to be funny. There's no fuss here. Now, if I say, can you hear me? I want to see your thumbs up. So if I'm saying three thumbs up, I must see your thumbs up. If you are loving something, I want you to press a heart. If somebody have answered the question, if I say clap for the person, please, you must clap. What is going to happen is that I will call people. For example, I'll call Snaz, I'll call Utuli, Utulile, I'll call Uzodidi, I'll call Akona. So what I'm seeing here, because I know some of the people are using somebody else's device, but I'll call somebody here. So if I call your name, I'm not being picky or I'm not picking on you. All I'm doing is to say I want us to what called to engage. So I'm also going to share my slide because I've got a presentation, but I'm going to talk a lot. And I know I can move very fast. So if you see that I'm moving very fast, you can slow me down. Okay. If I'm moving very fast, if you don't want me to disturb me, you can write on the charts, or else you can give me a surprise face. If I can see a surprise face, I'll slow it down. Okay. So that you can proceed very nicely. Are we together? Can I see your thumbs up if you're together? If you understand what I'm talking about. If you understand what I've said, please can I see your thumbs up? Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Now you'll see, Nobana, sometimes you can't hear me. You can write on the chat to check if it's your connection. So if it's your connection, please go out and then you come back. You reconnect, you disconnect yourself and reconnect. So that's what you're going to do. Okay, are we cool? Thank you very much. People are coming thick and fast. So let me first share my screen. What I will need from you is that, guys, please, please, please pay attention. Have your notebook next to you, have your pen, then you must listen very carefully. All right. So please slow me down if I'm moving very fast. I'll share my screen. If you can see my screen, can I see your thumbs up? If you can see my screen, can I see your thumbs up? Let me just come in. Can you see my screen? Thank you very much. Okay, no, cool. Thank you very much. Guys, because of time, I had to introduce all this. I'll keep on introducing what I'm talking about as we proceed and even in the next lecture. So I'll also remind you of what I've spoken about today. Thank you very much. I can see people are 30 now. I think after, let me just go back to my presentation. Here's my presentation. If you can see my presentation, please, can I see your thumbs up? If you can see my presentation, can I see your thumbs up? Can I see your thumbs up? Can I see your thumbs up? Let me just come here. Let me see you. Thank you very much. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Let me put it on a PowerPoint presentation. Let me take my laser pointer here. This is Introduction to Geography GGH1501. So today is all about welcoming you to GGH1501 so that you can understand your module. So this is an academic literacies for a first year geography student. So as I've said, I'm Mr. S. Nkubungu, and you're going to start from now up until 8:30. Okay, so please pay attention. All right, this is our link as you proceed. This is this is our outline. This is a lecture outline. I'll talk about the lesson objectives. I'll do an introduction. I'll talk who I am. I'll show you how is this triangulation support structure. I'll unpack today. Basically, today is for me to unpack TTL 013 to 2025. I know some of you have done assignment number 1, assignment number 2. Suppose you've started this as early as March, but now it's the beginning of April. But for those it's just a reminder for those who have been doing, so that you can catch up for those who have not been doing correctly. But for those who have done everything, please bear with us, and then you are going to do a refresher. It's going to be a refresher course for you. I'll talk about the overarching theme of the module. I'll talk about the key focus areas of the module. I'll talk about the purpose of the module. I'll explain what is expected of you, the outcomes of this module. I'll talk about the resources. I'll talk about the study guide, OER. I'll introduce you to glossary terms. I'll also talk about the assignment overview. I'll also give you an activity for today. Then we'll go for conclusion. Ladies and gentlemen, please bear with me. It's jam-packed. So stay focused and please slow me down where you feel Dobana I'm moving too fast, so that you can move all of us together. All right. Now, I've got 4 objectives for this lecture. Number 1, I want you to understand the module structure. I want you to understand the module structure. Oganya, before I can start, let me start from this premise. Now, okay, I'll talk about when I come to here. I'll talk about when I come to this position or to this point. Let me just come here. I will make you to understand the module structure. I'll clarify the assessment procedures, how assessment work, both formative and also is summative. This one. I'll also talk about what you need to do so that you can pass. I'll also clarify the teaching and the learning approach. Okay, because each and every module has its own learning approach. Because if you don't understand the teaching approach and also the learning approach, you will be caught wanting. At the same time, what are the resources that you need to consult for this module for you to pass or for you to understand? Because it's not about passing, it's about you comprehending of what you're talking about. Then I will also talk about the academic integrity and also encourage you about the participation in terms how to encourage yourself to engage on the online and collaborative learning, because this is all about discussion. It's all about collaborative learning. All right. So now, I'll also talk about e-exams. That's academic integrity. How do you conduct yourself throughout this semester? Because you are going to end, I think, in May when you're writing your exams. So I'll talk a little bit about plagiarism or about cheating or about the ethical academic conduct. So those are the things that you need to understand as you're proceeding moving forward, because this lesson is meant for students who are first year students who are just joining university. So you need to orientate you to say, this is what is expected of you for you to succeed in this particular course. Now, moving very quickly to the introduction, I'll just summarize what is in front of you. So, as a student, you will be introduced to key expectations and the support system that you're going to get from the GGH 1501 module. Now, what I'm going to do, I'll outline the purpose of the module. I'll outline the structure of the course to ensure that you understand what you need to focus on and what you need to understand about e-learning outcomes, to ensure that you as the student, you understand the academic focus, where you need to focus yourself to, and then what are the learning outcomes, what is expected of you at the end of the day to understand. Because once you understand what is expected of you, you can be in a position to respond correctly. Because if you don't understand what is expected of you, then you respond amiss of what is expected. So please understand, this module is fully online. The emphasis will be placed on how to navigate the UNISA platform, how to maintain regular engagement, how to use my UNISA Live, but I'm not going to go to that because it's a next week's lecture. So today is only going to be about giving you just a bird's eye view. Tomorrow, next week, we're going to go into details, because for you to succeed, remember I said this is an online module. So if you're talking about an online module, let me take my highlighter here. Once you talk about an online module, you need to understand what is expected of you so that you can engage online, all right? So that you can be in a position to succeed. Now, I'm also going to explain to you to clarify about the assessment process, because before you go and write an examination, you need to understand what is expected of you in terms of assessment, both formative and also summative. You have got the formative task, that is formative tasks, and also a summative, which is your final examination. So how we are going to meet, I'll guide you in terms of how we are going to meet your academic requirements. Because before you can write, it happened to me. It happened to me, I think it was in 2003 when I was doing my honors in 2003. It happened to me that you are not going to be admitted for this particular module because you did not meet the academic requirements in terms of which means you did not meet a particular mark for you to be admitted on the examination. It happens. It happened to me. So I understand it very well. So if you think that an assignment is just an assignment, because I was told Obana I was about 45%, so I did not meet 50%, so I cannot be admitted to examination. So, and then I was excluded. So, and also fortunate for me, I was studying at UNISA. So I'm also going to talk about the academic integrity and how we are going to collaborate with each other in terms of moving forward. So lastly, let me introduce myself, then I'll come back to say, what are your expectations? As I'm beginning to introduce myself to you, I want you to think about this. What is your expectation when you came to this class? What were you expecting to gain from this class so that you can move forward from this particular point? My name is Mr. S. Mbubungu. I'm very excited to be here, and my background is rooted in education, and currently I'm fascinated by the field of geography. I hold a BA in education. I did it with UNITRA. Now it's called Walter Sisulu University. Of course, also an honorary B honors masters and also masters of science in geography, both in geography. Beyond my academic journey, I'm also certified life coach. I'm also a passionate educator. I'm also an active investor. I'm someone who enjoys speaking and also sharing ideas, which means I'm also a speaker. At the same time, I'm also a person who likes to impact knowledge to people. So I look forward to learning from you and also to grow with you at this particular point in time. Now, if you understand what I've said all along up until this point in time, can I be in a position to see your thumbs up, ladies and gentlemen? Can I see your thumbs up? Oh, thank you, Snaso. Thank you, thank you. Akona, thank you very much. Are we together? Are we together? Are we learning something? If you're learning something, can I see your heart? If you're learning something, can I see your heart? Thank you very much, Snaso. Thank you very much. Now, I'm asking you, when you came here, I want to see your hand. What were your expectations? What did you expect to learn from this class? Because I can come and impose on you. But you said, no, this is not what I wanted, because I want to just get a sense. And you volunteer to say, Mna, I came here, I was expecting to gain A, B, C, and D, so that I can try to understand what you're expecting to get from this lecture. Any person? Nontogozo? Nontogozo? Okay, Zodidi, I can see your hand. Who else? Who else? Who else? Who else? Who else? Okay, Ntogozo. Okay, you can start, Zodidi. Zodidi, start. Okay, number 3 is Nazo. Zodidi, you can start. Yes, sir. Yes, 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 miss.
Good evening, sir. How are you, sir?
Evening, miss.
Can you hear me,
Yes,
sir?
clearly. I can hear you clearly.
Okay, sir. I came
Yes.
to this class to understand and gain the knowledge more about GGH1501. And after that, I want to share my knowledge with other students.
Then you just give me a big hand. I said about no more, just give me a big hand. Thank you, Avela. Thank you, Ntontogozo. Okay, let's go to the second one. Snaso. Who was the second person? Yeah, second person was Snaso.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, Stephen.
Good evening. I came to this class because I expected to gain more knowledge about geography. I love geography, and so I want to learn more. And I also want to see whether if I do further my studies and do honors or masters, so or will I continue the field of geography? What? That's it.
Okay. Okay, you wanted to check into Bana in terms of the field moving forward. All right. Okay. All right. Let's give me a big hand, guys. Let's give me a big hand. Let's give me a big hand. Let's give me a big hand. There are 35 people here. Only 2 or 3 people are giving them big hand. Okay, you can lower your hand. Go back to raise. You click again your hand so that you can lower your hand so that you can know Ndobana, this is a new hand. Okay, Ndogozo come. Ndogozo comes and let come, and confidence will be the third one. Ndogozo, what are you expecting?
Hi everyone.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi.
Yes, yes, I am a third year student. So I failed this module twice. So I am here because I want to learn. I want to know this module because I'm looking forward to pass it.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Let's give him a big hand. Okay, Zanele.
Good evening, everyone.
Yes.
Yes,
Can you
sir.
lower your hand, Ntokozo, and
Good
unmute
evening.
yourself, please? Come, Zanele, you can speak.
Okay, thank you, sir. For me, joining this class, I'm hoping to get more clarity with geography, because I don't have
Zanele, we lost you there. Zanele, we lost you. Oh, okay. Confidence, you can come. Come, Confidence. Zanele, you
Thank
come
you very
back. You
much,
lost you.
sir.
Yes, thank you.
With me, I'm actually enrolled for environmental management. So I believe that this module is one of those that will take me to where I want to be as an environmental scientist. But from the first assignment, I'm finding it very challenging. And I'm
Okay.
hoping these online classes are going to assist with regards to that. Thank you.
What is challenging when us now, when a confidence?
Uh, there's just a lot of reading. And
Okay.
the last time I did geography was while in high school.
All
So I
right.
was expecting it to be more familiar, but the content at this level is just a bit too challenging. I was able to do my first assignment and my second, but what I realized is that with the second one, at least I gave myself time to go through the prescribed material, and I was able to do so much better. Thank you.
All right, all right. I like the intervention that you have done. Also, did you say that I love this non talk also because that there's too much reading. Of course, there will be a lot of reading. When you go to university, the guys must expect there's a lot of reading. Okay, Zanele, are you still there? Zanele? Oh, seem we have lost to Zanele. Can you lower your hand, Zanele, please? Can you lower your hand? Can I see what is on the charts? Email address to send your queries. Can you, if you go to charts, guys, please, can you see the Mr. Koyan? Mr. Koyan, thank you for coming. There's also MTH dash tutorial at UNISA where you do email address to send your queries. If you've got any query, please go there. Please go there. Then it's also that the beauty of geography and you get to learn new things. Okay. Now I wanted, okay, thank you very much for the response. At least I'm getting an idea, but I wanted you to be to be more specific to say my challenge. For example, I've heard nobody. The challenge is that there's a lot of reading that's needed. Number two, the structure. You see, others have said, no, I'm the new person here. Others, I'm repeating for the third time, so I can't find my footing. You see, so let me just go to my presentation. I can tell you, we'll work together. We'll take you together moving forward. Now, look at this triangulation support structure. All right, there will be your lecturer at the top. Okay, then at the bottom, let me just take my highlighter here, or let me take my pen. For example, there will be a lecturer at the top. There'll also be an e-tutor. There'll also be me here, academic literacies tutor. All right, academic literacies facilitator, you can call me that way. So I call this a triangulation support. This is what the university is what is doing for you to make you sure that you pass. Based on what I've done, because I've been here, this is my second year. Last year, first semester, second semester, students said to me, thank you very much, sir, I've passed. Thank you very much, sir, I've passed. Thank you very much, sir, I've passed. So that's what made Ilandoza my heart to pop up, because as long as you pass, for me, that's the greatest thing that I can do. Because if you can't pass, then which means I would have failed to do my duty. So all we want to do is for you to first understand before you can pass, because it's not about you passing, it's about you understanding the module so that you can become a better geographer in future. Because somebody said, I'm doing I've enrolled in environmental science kind of course. So I want to be an environmentalist. So I call this a three-legged port kind of a support. You've got a lecturer, which somebody who's going to give you guidance. We are supporting your lecturer. So my duty, Napa, I'm going to come as an academic literacy. Of course, I'm going to do the balancing act of going into the content. But my role, I want to be very specific, is to make you to understand how the world works or how the world works. You must understand the spatial awareness of the world. No, you must understand. I'm going to give you skills. I'm going to give you knowledge how to effectively communicate your point, the language, the concepts of GGH1501, and also e-communication practices. What is expected of you as a student to your lecture? How to understand, how to interpret, how to analyze, how to produce geographical arguments. Because at the end of the day, I want you to understand what is expected of you. I may not dwell because your e-tutor and your lecturer will deal with the course content in details. Of course, I will touch base with content, but I'm more in giving you skills, in giving you a knowledge on how to approach things. So that's my role as an academic literacy. For example, if you are looking at an assignment, how are you going to approach an assignment? I'm not going to give you answers, but I'm going to show you, Dobana, this is how you approach an answer. How do you answer MCQ, multiple choice questions? What do you need to look at? All right. What do you need to look at when you're answering this one? What does it mean for you uh, 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 to get ahead of anything about Ilano GGH1501? I'll give you what do you call this? I'll give you outcomes and expect specific outcomes, and also what is expected of you. Then how you're going to go to your Mayonesa, how you're going to navigate. There's also going to be your modules, how you're going to interpolate them, how you're going to learn from a thematic maps or any kind of map, how you're going to extract information from any document, how you're going to, all those kind of skills. Because what is important, some of you lack skills in terms of how am I going to approach what I'm talking about, or no, how am I going to approach this particular subject. Because let me tell you something, when I came as a student, I thought it's going to, one person said, I thought it's going to link with what is happening at the what I'm learning is going to link to what I've done for grade 12. I'm sorry to say, there's a lot of difference of what we have done for grade 12 and now. Because what grade 12, you reproduce what you have been taught, but now you need to apply what you have been taught. So, but that's what we're going to do in terms of moving forward. So let's first unpack tutorial letter. If you understand, please, can I see your thumbs up, guys? Can I see your thumbs up? If you understand what is my role to you moving forward, can I see your thumbs up? Thank you very much, guys. Thank you very much. Okay, Sipo, Kabashi, your hand is up. Oh, maybe you're raising your hand. Okay, guys, let's try to move fast. Okay, let's try to move fast. Now, I'm just unpacking your tutorial letter, GGH1501. Because one of the questions up is very the consensus very it was a little bit challenging for me. So which means before I could not understand what is expected of me, therefore I try to remedy the situation by going back and starting to read. So that's where I come in to say what is expected of you, this is how you do your reading, and then this is how you continue in terms of is this what you're going to approach your exams or your assignments. Now, what is a module overview? What is an overarching theme or the supreme theme or the overall theme about EGH 1501? EGH 1501 is introducing you to geography. Introduction to geography on two things. It's introducing you to two things. One, the nature and the scope of geography as a science. Remember, my good students, academic literacies. Remember, I'm not saying academic literacy. I'm saying academic literacies. Each and every discipline has got its own content, or its own language, if I can put it that way. It's got its own language. For example, I can talk about the weather. If I'm referring to weather or geography, I'm just talking about the physical weather. Is it cloudy? Is it sunny? What kind of weather is outside? But for somebody who is an economist, will simply say, hey, the climate currently is not good for the economy. Can you see? Both of them are using climate. But the context here, climate, while geography is different from the context here, climate, while economics. The climate, economic climate, which means is the economic climate conducive for the economy to grow or not to grow? Are there any prospects for this economy to grow? Is there any injection for this economy to grow so that I can have jobs and every stuff? So the economic climate is either it's a bull market or it's a bearish market. So when an economist talks about the climate, it's different when the geographer talks about the climate. The same word, climate, but in terms of two different contexts. So here we are introducing to the nature and the scope of geography as a science. What is the nature of geography? What is the scope of geography? Number two, is going to introduce you to a geographical thinking. What is geographical thinking? What is a geographical perspective of the world? Because an economist, when he looks at the world, he looks in the perspective of being an economist. Whereas a geographer, when you look at the world, you must look at on the perspective of being a geographer. So your eyes, your lenses are going to be geographical, are going to be that one of a geographer. So when you are traveling, moving, let's say from Umtata to Durban or from Durban to Johannesburg, when you're looking at the mountains, when you're looking at the landforms, when you're looking at the vegetation, so your perspective, you must be in a position to say, oh, maybe this is what has happened many years ago. Why do you find this kind of a vegetation here? So as a geographer moving forward, you don't just move. Even if you're taking a walk, check your environment. What has happened here? For example, if you're looking at vegetation, you're looking at landforms, you're also looking at rivers, you're also looking at the lakes. What is this thing telling you? You see? So for example, if you come across a place that is full of aloes, is full of any bushy kind of or thorny bushes. So that environment will tell you, maybe this area is a semi-arid region. The situation is that the rainfall that comes on this particular area is not as high as compared to along the eastern side. So as you travel, everything that you're going to look at is going to be on the geographical perspective. Now, it focuses on two things: specific application of geographical concepts. I'm going to introduce you to geographical concepts. How are you going to apply those geographical concepts? Okay, let me pick up my highlighter. So, specific application of geographical concepts, because there are certain concepts, the geography, which are different from the concepts of history, which are different from the concepts the law. But here, what kind of concepts are here? Now, the focus is on the global south and Africa. Remember, our focus is on the global south and Africa. When you're looking at any geographical concept or phenomenon, you must be local and think global. What do I mean? If you see urbanization in a global scale, what is happening in comes to urbanization? In the African context, what is happening? In the South African context, what is happening? But in this particular case, if you're talking about the global South, what do you mean? In global South, I've tried to explain it here. Can you see here? I-Global South, in terms of the geopolitical and economic terms, because geopolitical is geography. Geography is about the location. Geography means earth. Geography and political. In terms of geographical location and politically, and in terms of economic. So the Global South are all regions that were historically less developed or economically disadvantaged. These are the third world countries compared to the global north. So zifumaneka on the south of the north. Those areas, they are including in North America and parts of Asia and some parts of Europe and those areas, and also Africa. Broadly, Latin America, Africa, South Asia, and Southeast Asia. So, China, Malaysia, and if you go down into Africa, you're talking of Africa as a whole. Latin America, your Argentina, your Venezuela, your Chile. You see, not the bigger guys like umzekelo. If you're talking about global north, you're talking about Britain, you're talking about your Spain, you're talking about those countries which are the first world countries. So in this module, we're going to focus on the global south and also we're going to focus on Africa. So whatever concepts that are going to learn, they must be applicable to the global south. How are they applicable in terms of Latin America, Africa, Asia, Europe, North. So what is a link? Because these areas will have similar economic impact, at the same time will have similar they are similar in terms of the impact. So that's why they are focusing. What is happening in Asia is almost similar to what is happening in Africa because you're the third world countries. So what you see in Africa is also what you see in Africa is also what you can see in Latin America. Of course, the context will be different, but in terms of the economic situation, it's going to be the same. So when you're looking at this module, you must also look at that. Now, before we come to this one, can I see your thumbs up, guys? Are you still following me? If you're still following me, I can see your thumbs up, please. If you're following me, thank you very much. Sinaso, I can't see you. All right, confidence. Okay, confidence. One delay. I'll call you out if you are not answering. I'll call you out. Okay, I'll call you out. Now, this is the overall look at the module. Now you understand, oh, the module, okay, is focusing on this. So that when you're answering questions, you must be relevant. You see, when you're looking at the particular phenomenon, you must be relevant. So we are going to go along in terms of me explaining what is expected. So what I want you to do, I want you to look at this video. All right. Look at the video very carefully. Then I'm going to ask you questions. All right. Look at the video very carefully. It's about 1 minute video. Please note things down because in the future, I'm going to show you how to extrapolate information from a video. How do you see the information? How do you get information from a video? You don't just look at the video and then you keep quiet. So how do you get information from a video? Okay, so I want you to look at the video and then I'm going to ask questions. All right, let me just play. Thank you. Thank you. I think you have listened to the video. Did you hear the video? Did you see the video and hear the video? Zotit. Tobek. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Now I've got two questions. I've got two questions. It know your place in time and in space. All right. It know your time and know your place in time and in space. Now I want to tell me there were concepts or there were themes that you're going to learn from the class on from this module. What are those themes? I think they've mentioned about 8 themes. What are those themes? Can I see your hand? Quickly, we're going to mention only 2 themes. Quickly, I can see confidence, I can see Zodidi. Who else? Guys, I want to see hands. Okay, Tembelihle. Dogozo, are you still okay? There are 5, okay. Guys, come. Number 1, who's the first one? Or 7?
Sir, I saw politics and agriculture.
You saw agriculture and what? Politics and agriculture. Thank you. Give me a big hand. Okay. Who was that? It was confidence.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Let's go to number 2. Zotiti. Thank you. Let's give him a big hand, guys. Let's give him a big hand. Zotiti, number 2. Zotiti.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
You learn about pollution, sir, and culture.
Pollution. Eh?
Population,
Population. Yes. Population. Yes. Thank you. Let's give him a big hand. Population. Let's go to number 3. No Sipo. No Sipo.
Cities and industry.
Thank you very much. Just give me a big hand. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Loyal hand and Gozo. Sinaso. Are there any other themes?
I saw environment, economy, industry, agriculture, population.
Hey, Osnazo. Let's give a big hand. Okay, he just answered everything. Okay, he answered everything. He answered everything. But anyway, others, guys, thank you very much. Let's lower our hands. Let's lower our hands. I'll teach you how to extrapolate information from video, because one of the things that I'm going to learn from class is all about the videos. Okay, now let's come to this one, guys. Let's quickly move. Now, themes this module is going to cover, there are 5. 1, as you can see from the video, climate and landforms. Number 2, population and urbanization. Remember, we talk about population. Politics were there. Culture was there. Economic livelihood was there. What do I mean by climate and landforms? You examine the climatic patterns and physical geography. Remember, this module will look at the climatic patterns. What are the patterns in terms of a climate? Physical geography, what it looks like. We are going to look at maps. One of the things that I'm going to teach you how to interpret a map. How to interpret and analyze a map. How do you move from a data, how do you analyze a data to come up with information? How do you look at the graph? Okay, but I'm going to give you a skill in terms of knowing this, so that whatever graph that you are meeting, anyway, you can be in a position to what? To answer. You look at the graph, you analyze. Because if you don't have a skill, you can't answer any graph. I'm not going to answer questions for you. No, I'm going to show you how to look at the data and come up with information. I'm going to show you how to look at this particular thing, at this map, and then come up with information. So it's very easy, very, very easy. Analysis of demographic trends, population and urbanization. Remember, analysis of demographic trends and urban development. You need to analyze when you're looking at a graph, for example, a pyramid of a population, males here, females here. Be in a position to analyze the graph and come up with information. Analysis of demographic trends. What are the demographic trends? If you're looking at this particular picture, What is it telling you? Culture. Exploration of cultural dynamics and geographical implication. There are cultural dynamics. We are not the same in terms of culture. And then the geographical implication of cultural dynamics. You're going to look at politics, political geography, and its impact to societies. Okay, you've got borders, you've got everything. You're going to look at that one. Economic livelihoods. We'll discuss of economic activity and their spatial distribution. Economic activity and their spatial. Once you talk about spatial distribution, what do you mean? The word spatial means space. Distribution, how is it being distributed? So if you're looking at economic activities in South Africa, where do you find a lot of industries? Where do you find a lot of economic activity? It's in Joburg, it's in Cape Town, it's in Durban, it's PE. These are the four industrial hubs, you see? So if you're looking at your area, how is the economic activity taking place? It's on the town, where it's happening. So as a geographer, you need to check the economic activity. What is the cause of this economic activity? What kind of an economic activity? Is it a primary, secondary, or tertiary? Okay, and how is it being distributed? What made it to be distributed the way it has been distributed? Now you can see the way you have been taught in high school, it was a foundation, but now it's analysis, it's interpretation, it's examination, it's exploration, it's about discussion. You see? So there's a lot of reading, a lot of understanding, because all these themes are going to be unpacked. Lastly, the purpose of the module, it wants to enhance your geographical literacy. What do you mean by geographical literacy? I'm going to explain it to you. Geographical literacy, I've got two things. Understand and interpret geographic data. Understand and interpret geographic data. Guys, are you still with me? I'm excited. Can I see your hands? Are you learning something today? Okay, Tembele, are you asking questions? Tembele, okay, those are all hands. Yabona kusinaso, you have understand by if you're learning something, I want to see your heart. I want to see your heart. Okay, who is asking? Togozo? Okay, there are questions. Okay, I've got four questions. Number one, Tembelise, do you have a question? Okay, I can see people who are happy. Okay, Ntogozo, do you have a question? Ntogozo?
No question for now.
No questions. Okay. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you very much. Let me proceed. Okay. Where were we? Okay, here. Now, understand this. The purpose of the module is aim. Why? Geographical literacy. What do you mean by geographical literacy? You must understand and interpret geographic data. For example, if I'm giving you data, whatever data I'm giving it to you, whether in the form of a map, whether in the form of a graph, whether in the form of a tables, whatever, look at the data, come up with information. Remember, students, there's a difference between data and information. Who can tell me the difference? Who can tell me the difference between data and information? Any person to try?
I think
Okay.
information is given, but with regards to data, you need to analyze it to make decisions.
You're saying data, what is
You
given is
need to analyze.
information.
Yes, but with
Okay.
regards to data, you need to be able to analyze it to come to conclusion.
You see, guys, when is that also is that confidence?
As confidence.
You see, confidence. Do the other way around. The answer is correct, but let's swap it.
Okay. So information needs to be analyzed in order for us to come to a conclusion, but
No,
data is.
data needs to be analyzed,
That's what I said initially, say.
Okay, can you repeat? Can you repeat? No, what did you say before?
Okay, I said information is given, but when it comes to data, when it's given, we need to be able to analyze it to come to conclusions or be able to make decisions.
Oh, okay. All right. Now, data. Thank you very much. Let's give me a big hand. Let's give me a big hand. Let's give me a big hand. It's correct. Umzekelo, data. If, for example, I'm saying in University A, there are 50 or there are 1,000 males, and then there are 50, then those are 2,000 females. University number B, you have got 2,000, 3,000 females. You've got 1,000 males, or you've got 1,000 this thing. So when you analyze that's data, it's just data. It doesn't tell you anything. But when you sit down and you begin to analyze, you are going to say, you have got 2,000 here, you've got 3,000 here. Now I'm going to ask you a question. Which university in terms of A and B is having a lot of females? So that would be university number B because I've got 3,000 females. Then number C is that on the university A, I've got 1,000 males. On university B, I've got 2,000 males. So which university I've got many males between university A and university B. So university B is going to have more females and this one is having less females. But in terms of the population over these two universities, which is a dominant population in terms of gender on this particular case between males and females, then you'll see Ndobana, because it's 3,000, it's 2,000. So that data now, it begins to talk. Then why is the cause for this to happen? You see, then there will be other information. So data is just a raw, statistics, whatever. It can be a map, it can be, it doesn't say anything. But when you speak to it, as as confidence have said, Didobana is just information. So in this particular instance, if you are saying you must understand the data first, you must also interpret the data. In this case, the data will come in different forms, in the form of a map or whatever. Then we are going to use contemporary geographical tools. So for you to understand, okay, let me just pick up this highlighter. For you to understand and interpret, you are going to use geographical tools. I'm going to tell you which are those geographical tools as you proceed. Now let's come to this one. So at the end of the day, what are your learning outcomes? What do you need to learn at the end of the day? One, you must observe, describe, and reflect, explain geographical phenomenon from global to local. You observe, you describe, you reflect, you explain geographical phenomenon from a global scale to local. Remember, we said it's global South and Africa. If we are looking at any phenomenon, it can either be a climate change, it can be either urbanization, it can be either deforestation, it can be either population, migration, immigration, whatever information, geographical phenomenon. You must be in a position to observe what kind of phenomenon is this one. Can you describe it? Why? What do you see? Reflect on it. What do you mean by reflecting? I'll show it to you just now and explain from a global South perspective. What does it? What happens in the global South, whether in Asia or in Latin America? Now let's take this information back to Africa. What is happening in South Africa? So you must look at local to global or global to local. You must look at the local phenomenon. If you're talking about the urbanization here, what is happening in Africa? Is this same trend happening? Are people moving from rural areas to urban areas? Is this phenomenon happening in Africa? Is this phenomenon happening in Asia? Is this phenomenon happening in Latin America? So your mind must be local to global, have a global perspective looking at each phenomenon. Because each phenomenon does not happen in isolation. It has to have a bearing. Umzekelo, if abantu, they are moving from urban area, from rural areas to urban areas, what are the causal factors? Are there any push or pull factors? Is this same phenomenon happening in Asia? Okay, is this phenomenon happening in Latin America? Then what is happening in South Africa, to be specific? So that's how we are going to describe these things. Number two, you must use, you are here to develop skills. What are kind of skills are you going to develop? Using data sources and techniques for geographical information. So I'm going to give you skills on how using what I call how to use the data sources. For example, a map, a graph, what else? A satellite image. Whatever data source, and also must have a technique that I'm going to show it to you. Those data sources and techniques are going to assist you to interpret any geographical phenomenon. So here are going to learn skills that are going to develop. When you're looking at that map, it must give you a story. Can you look at this data? Can you have this technique? Because you need to look at the data. So from this data, what kind of technique should I use? For me to get a particular information, what kind of a map should I use? Because you can't use a satellite image. A satellite image in information here that is going to give it to you. A topographic map is going to give you different information. A aerial photograph is going to give you different information. A graph is going to give you different information. So you need to know which information I need to use, okay, which technique or which data source I need to consult for me to come up with this particular answer, to interpret this particular phenomenon. Because it can be easy for you to interpret. It can be easy for you to interpret deforestation looking at the satellite image. Can it be easy for you to interpret deforestation looking at a topographic map? Somehow, you see, can it be easy for you looking at a satellite image? Of course, yes, because satellite image is going to show you trends of what has happened over the years. So you need to understand what data source, what technique, for me to do a geographical interpretation. I'm going to show it just right now. So e-learning outcomes for you: one, observe, describe, and reflect. Two, what data source, what technique, what geographical interpretation. Reflect on personal views as a geographical literate citizen. So by understanding these two, you must reflect. When you reflect, conscience, which means you are bringing your own views. Can you say something about what you see? You are reflecting on personal worldviews as a geographical literacy citizen. So you must reflect what is happening in terms of the world. You're looking at the perspective, your geography. Guys, are you hearing what I'm saying? Are you hearing what I'm saying? Guys, are you hearing what I'm saying? Thanks, Togozo. Thanks. If you're learning something, can I see your heart, please? If you're learning something, can I see your heart? If you're learning something, can I see your heart? Thank you very much. Let's proceed. Let's proceed, guys. Let's proceed. I'm going to move fast, but this is very critical to me. Let me give you an example. Please listen carefully, and you must take notes. Now, listen here, guys. Listen here. Listen here. Listen here. Nosipo, Zodidi, Uzi, Kolelwa. Listen here. Listen here. Tembeleche, listen here. Now, if you look here, I'm beginning now to interpret what I was talking about here. Okay? I'm beginning to interpret what I was talking about here. Okay? Now, let me just go back to here. Okay? We are here now. Now, I'm interpreting the first. I'm interpreting this one. This learning outcome. How are you going to achieve this learning outcome? Okay? Number one, this is a satellite image, okay? Which means it's a data source. Write that one down. So our data source in this case is what? Is a satellite image, okay? This is our data source, okay? Now, I'm going to show you a skill. Remember, we talk about the skill development, okay? To come out with a reflection, okay? Remember, we are observing, describing, reflecting, and explaining this data source to come up with the reflection. Okay, let's go back. Now, this is what we are having in front of us. Observe, describe. Let me take my pen. You observe, you describe, you explain. Okay? The phenomenon. Phenomenon from an integrated geographical perspective. Now, what kind of phenomenon is this one? That's the first question that we must ask ourselves. What kind of phenomenon is this one? Who can tell? Guys, who can tell? What kind of phenomenon is this one? Can I see your hand? Just one person quickly, guys. Quickly. Who can tell me what kind of phenomenon is this one? Quickly. Any person? Any person? Nomcebo, Wandile, Uzi, Kolelwa, Tembelihle. I'm calling your names, guys. I'm calling your names. Who can tell me the geographical phenomenon? Guys, you can't see clearly. So Stephen, you can't see clearly. Okay, it's fine. Some of you are using cell phones. Okay. Now, can you see here? When you see these guys, pay attention. I want you, okay, pay attention to this. Let me just use this. These are not for decoration. In other words, you're using binoculars. Okay, you're using binoculars. Now, here, this is a 4-panel satellite image showing a glacier change over time. This is a glacier change over time. So this phenomenon that we're talking about here is climate change. If you look here, use of maps, satellite images to observe global phenomena like globalization, climate change, desertification, soil erosion, urbanization. So what I'm observing here, okay, this is climate change because they are showing glacier changing over time, which means a glacier here is melting. Okay, now let's describing this phenomenon in detail, including their spatial distribution, temporal or permanent changes, and potential impacts. So I'm describing, is this phenomenon going to be temporal, going to be permanent in terms of the change? What are the potential impacts of this phenomenon? Is this phenomenon in terms of distribution, is it localized? Is it happening, for example, in South Africa only? Or is it happening in Africa? Or is it happening in the global world? So that you must understand. So we are describing, is this phenomenon going to be distributed all over the world? Is it localized? Is it permanent? Is it temporal? What are the potential impacts? I'm going to show you right now what is going to happen here. Then I'm going to explain. So I'm going to utilize this image, each human environmental interaction, spatial analysis, to explain the underlying causes or the mechanisms or the mechanics driving this phenomenon on a global scale. What is causing this? I'm explaining, but looking at this, satellite image, what is causing this thing? Now, if you see here, you've got 4 panels. There's panel A, there's panel B, there's panel C, there's panel D. When you're interpreting a map, guys, you look at one, whether it's a satellite image there. Okay, it's just an image that was taken by a satellite over the earth. You look at this one, what is called this thing, is a key. Key is very important. look at also colors. Colors are very important. I'll talk about it when I'm doing map interpretation. If you see here, you've got, what is this color? Is the blue color? Is this blue? Is this blue?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Chance concert. Lona injani color. This one. It's also blue, ne? Is that dark blue? This one.
It looks
Let me.
like black, sir.
It looks like
Yes.
black. No, this is blue. Yeah, maybe may not see. This is blue. It's dark blue. This is blue, ne?
And then
Then also check here, guys. Let me take another pen. Take also here, guys. Look here. Look here. I'm very happy because you are following me. I want to take another color here. Let me take this one. Check here. Can you see here? This is black. You see here? Can you see where I'm doing shading? Can you see, guys?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes. I can't
Yes.
see.
Can you see this is black, ne? Okay. This
I'm
is
lost.
black.
I'm lost. Yes.
Who lost? Who's saying I'm lost?
Zanele.
Okay. Where we lost you, Zanel?
By the time we started up colors and stuff,
Okay.
I was
All
lost
right.
there.
Thank you, Zanel. Thank you. You see, guys, I said when you're looking at the map, you must look at the colors. Colors as a blue, they refer to water. Any surface is blue, it's about water. If your surface is brown, it land forms as, you see. In this case, it tells me, okay, this is water surface, this is water surface. All right, this is going to be a valley. And then if you look here, there's this dark colors. This shows me this is a mountain. How do I know it's a mountain? If in Taba, a mountain is always having a shadow. Guys,
Yes,
so which
sir.
means the time they took a picture, there was a shadow here. Can you see? Look at my pointer. You look here. There was a shadow here. A shadow here. So number two, this is the same area. Look at this area. Look at the shape of this. 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 It's the same. So these four images are of the same area. However, they've been taken in different times. How do I know? One, I can see the shape of these shadows. Can you see these shadows? It's the same. At the same time, look at the shape of this, look at the shape of this, look at the shape of this dark blue color. It's still the same. But they've taken this picture almost at the same time, but in different times. Same time, let's say on the 9th of April 2025, 9th of April 2020, 2004, 9th of April, let's say whatever, or in April at this particular time. It depends, but they were taken around the same time. Come and check. The first image was taken on the 3rd of September 1985. The second one was taken on the 29th of August 2001. The other one was taken on the 1st of what? Of September 2019. And the last one, these three, they were taken. Can you see by now? Different years, but same time, I suspect in the same period. If Bars started at 1 o'clock, they took all of them at 1 o'clock. Why do I make that decision? Why do I make that one? It's because I can see. Look at the shadows. These shadows they are for animals as well. Can you see here? Guys, talk to me. Are you following me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, abanye abantu bathule ngeke Constance niyanikhatha yo no.
yes, yes.
Okay, yeah. Please. Okay, other people are quiet. I don't want
Yes,
people to be
sir.
quiet. Okay. Now check here. If you look at these three guys, check here. You see? Same time, but different years. And then get colors. Look at the colors. Look at here at the key, the black color, the yellow color, and the red color. So the first one, which is black, was taken in 1985. Can you check 1985 by in this area? Can you check? So that's a black. This was in 1985. Come and check here. Can you see the difference between here and here and here? This thing begins to shrink. What is this thing shrinking? Oh, glacier, which means the ice. Look here is shrinking. So, go 2001, the color it was yellow. Go 2019, the color is what? Is red. Same thing, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But can you see here? First, in 1985, it was here. Let's look where it is now. Now, that beginning to show you what is happening. Check, it was here in 1985. 2001, it shrunk, and then it shrunk. So the time they took in 2019, it was here. Now, I don't know what is happening in 2026. Maybe it's almost here. Check another thing that is happening. Here, this phenomenon, this is water. During this time, this was glacier, so there was less water. You see, there was more glacier, there was less water. The more this thing started to shrink, they began to have more water. The more water surfaces, because this glacier, it has melted and formed this area. Hence, if you can look here, it's a deep gorge. Why there's a deep gorge? Which means when the glacier starts to melt, it begins to fall. Glaciers like the ice. When the ice is melting, it begins to erode. So that's why you've got these deep areas that you can see here. So a glacier in this phenomenon is beginning to shrink. Why? Because of climate change. It's because the atmosphere begins to be what? To be warmer. As the atmosphere begins to be warmer, then it's like taking ice out of a deep freezer and putting where? On top of the table. What happens to ice? It melts. So in this phenomenon, if somebody says, tell me what was happening here, I'm explaining. Over time, the glacier started to melt. For example, if you look at the satellite image or on your panel number A, it was seated there, then it began to shrink on the second image and then on the third image. As you can see on the satellite image number D, the glacier shrunk, and as such, it made small dams of water, and also it created what we call deep narrow gorges. I've explained why. I've observed, I've described, I've explained. Guys, are you following me? Are you following me, guys? Okay, somebody's asking, what is a glacier? Thank you for that question. I can't still clearly say that's one is dark blue, sir. Okay, dark blue. Thank you very much. Then you'll help me with colors, guys. Thank you, guys. If you're learning something, can I see your thumbs? Can I see your heart? Can I see your heart? Thank you very much, guys. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Okay, now in this particular case, guys, what is happening is this. So in terms of this, how you observe, describe, and interpret. Have you looked at the satellite image? Because the satellite image can show me clearly what is happening over time. Okay. Now, this is another model that I'm giving it to you. Data sources and techniques for geographical data interpretation. Number one, satellite image. This is a satellite image. The same thing that I've explained before. Can you see 2001? Look here. Look here, 2001, 2004, 2010, 2013. This image is showing what? It's analyzing deforestation. Can you see here? There was a lot of forest. But as you come here, there are these areas, they are white. But this area, it was dark green. But I'm going to interpret this when the time comes. But I'm showing you data sources and techniques. All right? This one, climate models, we're going to talk about that one. So these are the data sources and techniques that are going to use in terms of geographical interpretation. You come here, geospatial data, GIS. You see, you're going to look at GIS. So what is this thing telling us? Okay, statistical analysis. How you're looking at these statistics? What is statistics telling us from 1980 to 2002? So I'm just showing you guys data sources and techniques to explain a geographical phenomenon. in the future, which means in the next lecture, you're going to look at these things, you're going to interpret, so that when you look at any graph, any geospatial data, any statistics, anything, you can just look at it and come up with information. And come up with information because you're looking at the data. So why are you using different sources and techniques? I-satellite image, ikunika visual data. You can see the Earth's surface is captured by a satellite. I've explained that one. Why are you looking at the statistical analysis? In a mathematical technique, to analyze the climate data like temperature, rainfall, you see, whatever record, which means January, rainfall was 2 millimeters, February was 5 millimeters, March was 20 millimeters. So over time, which season is having high rainfall, which season is having low rainfall? You are looking at what? In mathematics, we are using data in terms of analyzing the data. Okay, which means in this area, there are a lot of rainfall that you find in summer. In this area, there's a lot of rainfall that you find in what called in winter. Okay, so xa uya eholideni ungayi eholideni apho uzofika kunethe khona ube nezikhukhula. Then you go for geospatial data. Data is location based, often analyzed using GIS. We are going to talk about GIS here, how you're going to use vectors and all those analysis, to come up with understanding your maps and the climate variables. You are going to use geospatial. You look, this is geospatial, this one. You are going to look at it. Number 3, climate models. The computer simulation, this one. Can you see this one? It's a computer simulation. It gives a prediction. It's not something that has happened, but it's using the data that is currently available and predict what is going to happen in the future. They are simulating. A simulation is something that it's about simulation. You predict that this is what is going to happen based on the available data. Somebody asked me, what is a glacier? A glacier, and it's just in the simple terms, so that you can understand. The ice that is seated on the poles, for example, in the highest areas, for example, in the North Antarctica or South Antarctica. So it's just a big ice that is there. It's called a glacier. Just a big ice that is seated there. Okay, to balance things, because the impact, once that ice melts, it erodes and go to the sea. When it goes to the sea or the ocean levels begin to rise. As they begin to rise, they do, as not a tsunami, not a tsunami, they begin to rise and begin to erode the coastal areas. You find one, this area used to be an area where people would occupy, but yasinka that area because the sea level are rising. Why? Because the glacier is melting. Now, what happens is, what do you call guys? Yeah.
Seesaw, can you click?
Yes.
Seesaw.
Oh.
Seesaw. You see, most when you're playing with seesaw, if somebody on this side, on the left, is heavier than you, sure is going to make you to go up. So that's what is happening. If glaciers are melting, what is going to happen? They are decreasing in terms of weight. Then what is going to happen? The land mass is going to press, and then sea level is going to rise. Then if the sea level is going to go down, then the glaciers are coming up, then what's going to happen? That the water from this is going to go back. So they're doing a balancing act. So each data sources, guys, each data source is solving a particular problem. So you need to understand these data sources and you begin to interpret them. I'm going to show you how to interpret them. But today I've given you a glimpse. So we'll go into details in the future studies. Guys, is there any question so that I can quickly go through 5 minutes? Can you give me just 5 minutes of your time, guys, so that I can just finish up? Guys, any question from what we have discussed so far? Any question? Okay, are we still good? Can I see your thumbs up, guys? Thank you, Bongakonge. Thank you very much, guys. Just give me your 5 minutes of your time, guys, so that I can just quickly wrap up. What I'm about to wrap up is going to be just a few things. Now, the resources that you have here, one, you don't have a prescribed textbook. What you are using is an OER, Open Education Resources. The Open Education Resources, guys, that is an information that is available But what you need to do is just to acknowledge, okay, so that those law materials available is online and is free. So what is important for you is just to go there and source it. You see, so UNISAC is using an OER so that it's free. But what is important is that you must acknowledge that you have received this thing from this particular source, and then you can use it for free. There's no recommended book for this module that you must understand, but this is just a read. It's not recommended, but you can read this one. It can give you a better and a comprehensive picture. So this one, if you happen to have it in a library, or you can purchase it, but it's not compulsory, guys, but it's just a read. As a guide, whatever phenomenon that you're discussing, you can come and consult on this one. But you must understand, no prescribed textbook. You're not forced to buy this one. You can just source it so that you can enrich your studies. It's going to help you in terms of moving forward. Now, what is an open educational resource, OER? I've explained that students do not need to study all 6 books. There are going to be 6 books here. You need not to study all the 6 books, only specific sections. Remember, somebody said there's a lot of reading. So you need to understand about what, in this particular source, what I need to look at. What is the section that I need to come out? Reference in the learning unit. So check the learning unit, you consult a source. Topics I've said, they cover this: human geography, physical geography, climate science, and sustainable mapping. These sources are available online reading or for it download in the form of what? Of PDF via the GGH1501 module site. We will talk about this one, guys, next week. Then what is important, in addition to all our students should have access to Atlas. Guys, you must have a grade 10 to 12 Atlas. You must have a grade 10 to 12 Atlas. But I'm going to show you as the Atlases that are online. But if you can have a grade 10 to 12 Atlas, that will be well and good. Because the Atlas, you're talking about geoliteracy, you must understand things from the Atlas. The Atlas is very important. So please, if you happen to have somebody on the Atlas, please look at that Atlas. It can also, you must go to YouTube. There must be videos. I'm going to show you how to get information from a YouTube video, and then how to basically how to get information from YouTube. So it's going to be internet search, it's going to be YouTube. So those are the important things that you need to do, how to search for information. So it's also critical so that you can get information that is relevant. At the same time, if you have got these open sources, because I think there are about 7 or 8, what to study. For example, you have got 6. This is a list of open educational resources. Guys, please, 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 I'm begging you, go and check these. Okay? You need not to study everything in these ones, but what is important, what I'm going to find in the introduction to human geography, what I'm going to get in the physical geography and natural disasters, introduction to world geography, mapping for sustainable world, introduction to climate science, introduction to human geography. Why? Because we have to look at these 6 books, and then you only specific sections that are going to be referred to, because all of them, not everything is going to be found on book number 1 or on book number 3. So looking at your tutorial letter or what study guide, you look there to say where we must go and study. Please go and study looking at these resources. Make sure that you look at these resources. Then study guide. There's no study guide or formality manual in the true sense of a study guidance manual, because this is an online module. So study guidance, it's now 7 modules. So we're going to touch almost all of them. And as I've said, it's an interactive learning unit with links to YouTube's. Guys, please, links to YouTube's and videos, online resources, as well as multiple choice quizzes. Those multiple choice quizzes, guys, you must answer them. They are preparing you. I'm going to show you how to navigate all of this, but it's your duty to look at the study guide. Please have your study guide, and then you begin to click on the links on terms of YouTube. Click on this one. You do this as early as possible. The other thing, guys, that I want you to refer to is this one. Guys, this is very, very important. I want to just go just live on it because I've just come and downloaded it. Let's come to this one. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Oh my goodness. Where is it? 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 Okay, let me just come here. I'm gonna show it to you now. Now. Let me click control. Guys, go to this glossary of this is very important. Glossary of geography and related terms. Please, guys, come here. Because if you come here, if you need to understand, somebody will ask me what is a glacier. Let me just come and A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Where is glacier? I can't see glacier here now. For example, I talked about global south. Let's just come and see where's global south. There's global south. You see? There's global south. Global south, what does it mean? NgesiZulu, global south. NgesiSuthu, nansiya, ngesingesi, in English, in Afrikaans. So this is explaining each term so that you can understand in your own language. Okay? If you don't understand the term, please, guys, come and have a look here. Okay? Oh, my time is up. Now let's come to the last part, assignments. Guys, assignments are very critical. So are online based. There are quizzes and activities and the dates and in the tutorial letter 101. On my modules, assignments are called assessments. For example, assignment 1 is going to be called assessment number 1, then it's equal to assignment 01. Now, they are available on GGH1501 module site. We'll also check that one next week, how to access it. And then when you see those questions, they are randomized, multiple choice, which means when you're going to get yours, another person is going to get yours, even though the content is the same. You're not going to get the same formula. It's a way that is being done over in marking. Questions are to be submitted online within 1 to 2 hours. I think in this case, in your case, it's 1 hour. So you cannot have access to questions beforehand. Then you'll get the feedback on the site. Will be posted on GGH1501 site because it's online. Tina, in our days, we were posted, that's posted assignment. So it's UNISA, then they go to Johannesburg and then they go to Pretoria and come back. If you're staying in Brisbane, you have to travel to Mtadoganye to Port Edward, and then you just email them. Now, your assignments here, guys, I'm not going to go into details. I think I'm going to deal with this one next week when I'm doing also as it, because I've covered a lot of content on that one. So let me just leave this one, guys, so that not of this time. What is important is that a contribution to a final mark. Your first assignment is 16%. Your second assignment is 42%. Your third assignment is also 42%. So please do your assignments. Okay, so that you can get your year mark. So your year mark is going to be 20%. Your examination is going to be 80%. But if you don't meet a final mark in terms of recalculation, then a minimum passing criteria, a final mark is going to be a minimum 50%, then your mark not considered if examination score is below 40. So your year mark is not going to be considered, guys, if your score, if for example, the exam, you get 40, let's say you get 39, then let's say your year mark is about 10%. So which means you're not going to be considered. But if your year mark, let's say it's about 10%, then your exam mark is 45%, then you're 10%, then you end up on 55%. So please don't say, I've got a good DP, then I'm not going to study. So both of them are very important. At the same time, if you don't do your assignments, then your waiting, Yako, can also kill you. So please work on them. I think I'm going to work on you on the third assignment. Okay. Now, schedule, guys. When is your last assignment? It's on the second. Oh my goodness. It's on the 2nd of May. All right. So it opens on the 2nd of May. It closes on the 15th of May. So before you go and answer, make sure that you have studied thoroughly, because once you open it, you must finish within an hour. So that's going to be a unique number. So I think I'm going to assist you with this one, because let's say Pelile is on the 3rd. So I thought you'd start beginning of March and then you do all these 3. But we do a revision, but we do the second one on the
Sorry, sir.
15th. Yes.
Sorry, sir.
Yes.
Assignment 2 is only due tomorrow.
Which one? This one?
O2, it's due tomorrow.
2. Oh, okay. I thought
Yes.
the 3rd. So
I think as
oh,
date is incorrect, sir.
it's incorrect. Okay. There are new dates now.
Yes, it's actually
Because
due tomorrow.
Okay. The 3rd one? When is the 3rd one due?
Third one, okay, yes.
I'm not sure
Still
about the third one.
okay.
Let me check.
Okay, it's fine. My dates may be wrong because I got this one from your tutorial letter. So the latest information, as I was saying, you must go to your. Thank you for that, guys. You must go to your, what do you call this thing, for my UNISA. So next week we're going to look at my UNISA, but basically I got it from tutorial letter. So maybe each illustration changed. Thank you very much for correcting me. But on the tutorial letter, this is what was written. Thank you for correcting me because I
I
don't have
said
access.
change.
So assignment
Just
3 is
one
what?
question, sir.
Sorry?
It's not changing. Still okay.
Sorry?